One thing I love about literary study is it's not just about reading great or great big books. I teach Victorian literature. That's David Copperfield, Charlotte Bronte, George Eliot. You know, great and big books. That's a lot of words. And of course, these words become characters and scenes, ideas and emotions as we read. But they also function like code that provides us an interface with history. And the history I study, the Victorian Britain, trust me, not the snooze fest you might imagine. For instance, Charles Dickens' Bleak House has, hands down, the best spontaneous combustion scene in literature. Long story short, conniving, constantly drunk Mr. Crook goes up in flames. He spontaneously combusts. Hang on though, we only learn about this after several characters have given us the scene from their point of view. They've burnt the chops, one character announces. Another character notices a greasy residue. It's leaving smears on his clothes. And another character pulls his fingers back when he accidentally puts them into putrid puddles that have been congealing on surfaces. In short, we only learn about Crook's spontaneous combustion once several characters have breathed him in and swallowed him. Why? Why does Dickens do this, and why does it matter? Well, first, spontaneous combustion is disgusting and therefore fun. But seriously, Crook's spontaneous combustion tells us a lot about what's going on in Bleak House. Bleak House is a novel in which science, scientific thought, and societal reform are coming together. The important thing about Crook's spontaneous combustion is that his greasy ashes get into the air and get into other people's bodies. This solidly locates the novel at a time when the transmission of diseases was poorly understood. Which diseases were airborne? Which diseases were waterborne? What diseases could you only catch by bodily contact? Whatever, Crook's spontaneous combustion covers all these bases. And again, why does this matter? Well, Dickens really, really, really wants to convince his readers that society needs to change. He wants his readers to understand that unless systems and institutions change, society's on its way to self-destruction. How would you convince your readers who wouldn't otherwise understand that there is a problem, that things need to change? How about we make social ills more than a metaphor? How about you convince your readers that when one part of society is left to stew in its own foul and flammable juices, the other part of society may one day drink it down with its tea? Yeah, that could maybe work. So Crook's spontaneous combustion is more than just gross and disgusting and fun. It also gives us a lot of knowledge about what's going on at that historical period. It gives us ideas about what people were thinking about what was going on. It brings together and shows us what's being brought together is scientific thought, however poorly understood, and societal reform. But it's bigger than that. It shows us how many little bits of history are crammed into everything, every story that we read.